Happy Wednesday, friends. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. We have a potent storm system that will be moving across the country later this week, bringing the chance for heavy rainfall, flooding, and severe weather. And we'll also be talking about your long range weather forecast later on in today's video. If you like detailed weather breakdowns across North America and the tropics, this is the place for you. Subscribe to the channel down below. It's absolutely free to do, and you get those detailed weather breakdowns on North America and the tropics on this channel. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up as well before we get into it. It definitely helps us get this information passed along to more and more people. We do have frost advisories up here across the Midwest into the Ohio Valley and parts of the western Mid-Atlantic as we go here through this morning. So you can see that in the light blue shade of color up here in the southeastern portions of Minnesota, right around the Rochester region, La Crosse, Wisconsin, getting down through the Chicagoland area, Indianapolis, and all the way down through the Columbus, Ohio region through this morning. And it's due to temperatures into the 30s. We're dipping down into the middle 30s, even some lower 30s in this region across the upper Midwest, getting in toward portions of the western Ohio Valley. And just zooming it in across the northern plains, these are your wind chills this morning into North Dakota here, northeastern South Dakota, into southern Minnesota, northern Iowa. We have widespread wind chills here, anywhere from the middle 20s to the low 30s. So definitely seeing some chilly air across the northern states this morning. So make sure to bundle up if you are headed out the door for work or school today. As we go through the day today, we are also keeping an eye on a potent storm system, the likes of which we haven't seen across the lower 48 for quite some time. You can see it digging in across the Rockies in the western half of the country as we move into this afternoon. And you can see we're starting to see some rainfall, especially in those higher elevations, even some snowfall up there as well, especially as you go up in elevation across the Pacific Northwest today. That will linger into tonight. Some of the energy will transfer mainly over portions of Wyoming, Montana, and northern Colorado as we start to see more of the cyclogenesis develop with that low pressure system just to the east of the Rockies overnight tonight into early Thursday morning. And this could spell out some deepening areas of heavy snowfall across portions of Wyoming as we go through the overnight hours tonight into your early Thursday morning time frame. Looking at the rainfall across the Pacific Northwest, no surprise here with all the energy transferring into this area with that low pressure system, seeing some heavier rains for portions of western Washington state and western Oregon. This will transfer downstream through Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, and to some extent Utah as well as we move through that Wednesday, Thursday time frame here this week. And you can see 1 to 2 inches of rainfall is likely across Seattle down toward the Portland region. So if you live in those areas, definitely gearing up for a couple of inches of rain there. But in higher elevations downstream across Wyoming, northern portions of Colorado, we're dealing with several inches worth of snow, over a foot of snow in some of these areas over the next couple of days. So make sure that if you are going up in elevation that you have those snow tires ready and you are ready for slippery travel as you go up in elevation with some of that snowfall out there across the Rockies. Then as we go into Thursday, tomorrow, this system starts to take more of a negative tilt. And whenever you see a negatively tilted trough, that does mean trouble across portions just to the east of that trough. So we're starting to see that for the mid-Missouri Valley as we go into Thursday, and then it really takes on a negative tilt as we go into Friday from the Midwest into the Ohio Valley. And looking at the dew points during those 2 days, Thursday and Friday. So first starting here on Thursday tomorrow on October 12th, we have dew points returning into the upper 50s, low 60s as far north here as the Lincoln, Nebraska region, Omaha, and Des Moines. So definitely seeing a little bit more of a warm front up here. Classic low pressure signature with the triple point up there into Nebraska, and then the cold front extending down from that, or the dry line as we call it, across the central and southern Great Plains. And then as we go into Friday, a maturing system, we're going to see areas into southern Wisconsin, eastern Iowa, and north central Illinois seeing dew points into the upper 50s and low 60s there as a warm front moves all the way up into the southern Great Lakes region with a strong cold front extending down from that low pressure system And where those two meet, that's called the triple point, and that is where we're going to start to see some severe weather as we go into Friday. So here is when to expect storms over that time frame here. So Thursday morning, we're going to see a warm front moving northward, and it's going to advance north across the Midwest, leading to scattered showers and storms from portions of Nebraska through Iowa here into north central Illinois and perhaps even northwestern Indiana Thursday morning. Likely not severe weather across most of these areas, but some heavier downpours and some frequent lightning will be possible. It's more so into Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening. We're going to see that cold front really develop with this maturing cyclone across central portions of Nebraska, deepening down to a 992 millibar low here. Warm front racing to the north across the upper Midwest, and we're going to see a line of some severe storms developing from around the Sioux Falls region down through Omaha there, and possibly as far south as eastern Kansas toward the Topeka, Wichita region as we go into Thursday evening. This could pack a punch with some damaging winds, large hail, and a couple of tornadoes. It is concerning because the Storm Prediction Center does have that slight risk of severe weather. That's that yellow shaded color. That's a level 2 out of 5 on the scale here. The higher the number, the higher the chance of severe weather. So this is a 2 out of 5 in the yellow and a 1 out of 5 in the dark green area here. And you can see this covers much of the Lincoln, Nebraska region over here toward Hastings, Omaha, and then all the way down into portions of the St. Joseph region, just west of Kansas City, including the Topeka area, Emporia, Kansas, and over there toward the Salina, Kansas region as well. This is the area of greatest concern for damaging winds, large hail, and a couple of tornadoes. We also have a separate area of severe weather with a different storm system across Florida as we go through your Thursday. We have another slight risk covering portions of the Gainesville region, Daytona Beach, Orlando, down toward Tampa Bay, Cape Canaveral. Those areas we could be seeing some damaging winds and a few tornadoes down here as well. So don't let you guard down there in Florida, even though this is traditionally where we don't see severe weather very often. We could be seeing it as we go into Thursday, so make sure to have multiple ways to receive watches and warnings there through your Thursday as well. Then as we move into Friday, we're going to see that cold front march to the east across the Midwest with a line of storms ongoing Friday morning. These will be on a weakening trend, but definitely seeing some potential for isolated strong to severe wind gusts here along this line, especially with southward extent there. And then as we go through Friday afternoon, this should say Friday afternoon and evening, this will be pushing further off to the east across portions of the Ohio Valley and into the mid-Mississippi Valley with a line of strong to severe storms rather likely then. And then you can see here on Friday, if you are in the orange shaded color from southern Wisconsin, far eastern Iowa through much of the Illinois Valley here, including the Chicagoland region, Peoria, down there towards Springfield, Illinois, and around the Indianapolis region there and the Terre Haute, Indiana area, we could be seeing some severe weather possible, if not likely, in that corridor. Again, damaging winds would be the main risk, followed by large hail and even a couple of tornadoes. Then as we go into Saturday, the heavy rainfall threat will continue to shift off to the east. This low pressure system eventually will start to weaken out, but still seeing some widespread unsettled weather from the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes, and across the eastern seaboard here. So more of a unfortunately miserable day for some gloomy conditions, some rainfall for those areas as we go into Saturday. This storm system in general will be producing lots of rainfall. So no matter how you slice it, whether you get severe weather or not, we will be seeing lots of rain from portions of the Dakotas, Nebraska, eastward through the Great Lakes regions and into the mid-Atlantic, northeast, you name it, through Sunday. Several inches of accumulation, and zooming it in here, the Twin Cities region, Des Moines, Green Bay, down to Milwaukee, Chicago, over toward Detroit, widespread 1 to 3 inches of rainfall for those big cities up here across the northern states as we go through this upcoming weekend. So definitely seeing a nice soaking rain, and this will help the drought in this region in the long run. So that is some good news. And then with that separate storm system down here across portions of the southeast and Florida, widespread 1 to 3 inches with isolated 4 to 5 inch amounts possibly down into northern Florida around the Orlando region, Gainesville down toward Tampa Bay, Cape Canaveral. We could be seeing several inches of rain through this weekend as well. So looking into early next week, things do change in the wake of that storm system. We're going to see that colder Canadian high pressure system working down from Canada into the northern and central United States on Monday. Monday, and then that cold front will clear most of the eastern and southeastern states by the middle of next week on Wednesday, October 18th. And with the high pressure settling in, lots of sunshine back into play, and we have cooler than normal temperatures as well. And this is very likely below normal across the southeast and the eastern two-thirds of the country for next week, from Monday the 16th through Friday the 20th, with warmer conditions and more ridging building across the western half of the country, especially up there into the Pacific Northwest and extending up into Alaska as well. Looking here at the precipitation outlook into next week, it does look drier in the wake of that system, so normal to below normal precip for the eastern half of the country. The western half generally will be normal to slightly above normal here, unless you're in the Pacific Northwest. We'll see a lot more active weather with heavier rains at times as we go, especially toward the middle and late portion of next week. And just looking at those temperatures starting next work week on Monday, October 16th, these are your highs, folks. Yes, we're into the 50s there into Nashville. We're at 57, 60 degrees barely into the Atlanta region, 66 in Dallas, and 58 closing in on 60 there into the Kansas City region on Monday. We have a little bit of a bump in our temperatures into the low and mid 60s as we go into Wednesday, the middle of next week, before another cold front comes through and gives us another shot of cool air from Canada down into the northern states, and this time could be a little bit more of packing a punch with the cooler air, with temperatures only held down into the middle 40s for our areas up here into the eastern Dakotas, Minnesota, and the Northwoods of Wisconsin about a week from tomorrow. So definitely something to keep an eye on as we go through later on next week. And with the cooler weather, those cooler mornings will be more frequent, with frost and freeze confidence here through next week from Monday, October 16th through Friday, October 20th. If you see here the key on the left-hand side of your screen, the darker the blue colors, the more likely you're going to see frost and freezes as we go through next week, especially during those morning hours as you're heading off to work or school. Definitely starting to see frost out there and a lot of freezes occurring with those colder temperatures in towards next week. Well, if you haven't seen my winter forecast for 2023 and 24, make sure to do so. The link to that video is down below the description of this video. Make sure to go watch it. Lots of great information about this upcoming winter, as it is the first El Nino winter expected since 2015. So lots of changes to the forecast that we've seen since the past few winters. So make sure to go watch that again. Lots of great information. Give it a like. Leave any comments, questions, concerns below. I'll always answer them on that video as well. If you have any comments, questions, concerns on this video, make sure to post them down below. Give this video a like, especially if you like today's weather forecast. Share this video with friends, family, and on social media, whether it's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, etc. I do appreciate that. It definitely helps to get the word out. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope everybody has a great rest of their Wednesday out there.